I don't want to cook. I can't be bothered. I figure if God wanted us to do extra manual labour, he wouldn't have invented the air fryer. Oh, that is just sexual, isn't it? Feedback on the stove though, wow, that perfect for summer when you want to get in that bikini and live your best life, but when you want to lie in your dressing gown all day and eat chips and watch TV, this doesn't really complement that lifestyle, does it? Will pinching my cheeks make a difference to how raw I look on camera right now? Little high school hack there when you weren't allowed to wear makeup, pinching your cheeks to give the illusion of some blush, and then biting your lips to give the illusion that you have some colour. I actually think it did something. Hello, dear people. Coming to you in a very raw state. We have been, as a family, collectively extremely ill. Me and my husband in particular, and not sure if me having a baby growing inside me has made me extra sick, because it's been 3 weeks now and I'm just starting to get over it. I have decided to just pick up the camera today and do a really fun vlog actually. I'm really excited to get back to this. I haven't done a proper one. Gee, I'm not sure if I've ever done this kind of vlog. I've done what I've eaten in a day, but I don't think I've done what I've eaten in a week. This video, folks, is going to be a bit of a combination vlog. We have some exciting kitchen updates. I know, after all the housing renovations, bathroom updates, if you're not on top of all of the news, I will link the saga up above. And I call it a saga because you have to live through it to understand what we went through for months and months updating this house. Anyway, we are going to make a few updates to the kitchen. I have some very worn out appliances. I'll flip you around and I'll show you what the current state of the affairs are. But basically the gas stove is leaking gas. It's been in this house since it originated, which is probably 30 years ago now. Oven is on its last legs. The light doesn't work. Temperature is questionable. And as for the Rangehood, I mean, you'll just see when I show you, but it's a disaster. That is also broken. The vents, sorry, the netting that goes over the vents is broken, and it's just in a state anyway. We are getting this all updated, and I thought I would take you along for the before and after, and then on top of that, I thought, why not put the new appliances through their paces? Because we want to know whether this is worth your money investing in, because we certainly haven't owned this brand of appliance before. It's Smeg, by the way. We're purchasing all Smeg. Rangehood, gas stove and oven. And you guys should know out there whether it's worth your hard-earned money or not. So I thought this week we would do a 5-night-a-week HelloFresh cook-up. Basically what I eat in a week for dinner every day. Why we are back on HelloFresh, we did many years ago, but then it got far too expensive. The children really weren't eating it consistently and we had a bit of food wastage, which is not really the point of HelloFresh. So then I decided that why not give this another go, but rather than a full family set meal of a 4-person meal 5 days a week, how about we do a 2-person meal 5 days a week? So I'm just cooking for me and my husband, cooking the children their favourite foods, and everyone kind of works out happy. So if you enjoy some cooking, some food, some very raw footage, because as you can see, I'm starting this vlog off very unglamorous. I still have to finish washing my hair this morning. But if you enjoy what I eat in a week, if you're curious about HelloFresh and whether it's for you or not, I'll be rating the recipes, of course, and also putting the new appliances through their paces and seeing if they live up to the hype. So in the following clips, you're going to be seeing a very quick transformation. I'm not going to be filming any installation process because I don't really feel comfortable filming people I don't know doing their job. I mean, No one needs that. No one needs the extra pressure. I believe that the parts are going to be installed on separate occasions, so we might do the oven first, and then I think the range hood and the stove will be done on another occasion. So we will jump through to all those different bits, and you will see slowly the new kitchen come together. We can only hope. Just to quickly explain, the 2-person 5-meal a week plan has worked out perfectly for our family. I think I've explained, I'll link the blog up above. I am newly pregnant. Well, not so newly now. I'm a little bit further in now. My cravings have been all over the place, and I'm kind of over my own cooking, which is basically just dictated by what the kids want to eat, and I just wanted something a bit different. So I decided to go on the 2-person plan, so the children are happy. We have something different every night, and I tell you what, it has worked out a charm. And so much more affordable that it actually fits within our weekly food budget. And what I love about it, there's no wastage, there's something new to look forward to every night. It's so quick to put the meals together, and it's just low maintenance, low fuss. I don't have to write a shopping list and go out and buy these things. It's just been a lifesaver for this time in my life right now, and foreseeably when our family grows into a 6-person family, it really will save our lives when I don't have to go shopping for things because I can't get out of the house and it's just conveniently there. Anyway, I ramble. I also intend on having a shower and finishing washing my hair, because right now I live in a schedule where I start something and cannot finish it because there's just so much going on in between. So hopefully I won't always be looking so sick and shaggy like from Scooby-Doo. That's exactly who I look like right now. And you won't be so confronted with this image too often moving forward for the rest of the vlog, although you surely will. Sometimes life calls for glamour, sometimes life calls for reality, and I feel like this vlog calls for some reality, which I believe you will tune in for, since I've been very raw on this channel with everything that's been happening lately. So let's do this. So, quick kitchen update before the actual kitchen update. This is the original setup. So here we have the old oven, who is a great oven. It's a Westinghouse, has lots of different, oh, there it goes, lots of different functions. I've just lit her up so you can see. So we have a pastry function, fan forced, bottom element, top element. I burnt it so many times to smoking point that the lights don't work anymore. So she's going. This has been here since the house was actually built. This is leaking gas everywhere every time we use it, which is the most important double wok burner. Really quite a OH&S hazard. The knobs have been broken. This sometimes works, which is the ignition for the gas, so the flint. Yeah, in desperate need of an update, I think, after about 30 years. And then this range hood, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, and has been so used and abused that it is literally just falling to pieces. So as you can see, a very justified kitchen update. I just thought I would show you before so we can get the full impact of the after. Okay, I figure this is the most clean you are ever going to see this oven, so I thought I'd just whip out the camera now. Here's the oven. The rest of the kitchen remains looking rather familiar, unfortunately. Oven is in today though, and it is by Mr. Smeg. Not sure if you can see the metallics there. Anyway, look, I'm not quite sure what to say of Smeg products. I haven't heard the best reviews of them, however I know people love them, so one can only but hope that the cooking results are going to be exquisite from this new oven. God bless this oven and everything that comes out of it, is all I can say. Baking for the first time after burning off all the chemicals, a apple slice cake with sultanas and walnuts, which I've never baked before, but under the request of my son who loves apple cake, we're christening this oven today. A bit of a apple slice situation. Still adjusting to the fact that this oven has 2 knobs, of which I really don't quite know what they do yet. I just literally just turned a little bit of that to the right and a little bit of that to the right, and we have cake. And no cake could be complete without a dollop of Flora thickened plant cream, which I have here in my bowl. This took no time to whip, which I'm very thankful for, because I'm actually waiting for this cake to bake so I can do pickups. And I feel the reason why it was so quick to whip is because I used this new cream stabiliser. found it in the spices baking aisle. It's got, interestingly, icing sugar, tapioca flour, pea protein, and some kind of sulfite. Anyway, it did the trick in making this whipped cream a bit more stable, because the plant flour cream tends to be a little bit more on the soft side. But don't mind me, folks, fully intend on making something spectacular in this oven. I'm talking take 2 of my apple pie times minestrone, because I think the combo is unbeatable, and I really want to give this apple pie a go for a second time round. I'll link the video up above of my first attempt. I feel like I could have done just a little bit better on the pastry, so why not do that in the new oven? I clearly have lots of cravings to cater for now, so this is my life. I'll pick up the camera when it's all over. My apologies that this kitchen reveal doesn't come in a more tidy state, but my life comes with mess. It's conditional at this point. Now, this view may not look too dissimilar to how the kitchen looked before, because as you can see, the Rangehood is exactly the same style. It's got like a hidden flue up in those cupboards, and also you have seen the oven reveal. This, however, is brand new to us all. This is the Smeg cooktop, and I don't know how this is physiologically possible, but despite the fact that we had to get a stonemason to cut into the stone to make this fit, because our old stovetop was a lot smaller, why does this look like there is more room? I'm not sure if it's the fact that the dials are now at the front, whereas they used to be at the side, and maybe that's why I feel like they impeded on the space, but all I can say is I just feel like there is so much more room for me to cook and prep now. Not to mention, I'm not sure if you can see by the angle here, that the stove isn't quite raised. It actually is set into the bench top, so it sits a lot more flush, also adding to the space. And love this kind of asymmetrical layout rather than the 2x2. I just feel like it's a lot more fluid when you're cooking, a lot more modern, and perhaps could fit circular pans a lot better. As you can see, there is a wok attachment to go with the large burner. Then we have a medium burner and 2 smaller ones. Also really love the design of the grates. And this may be absolutely nothing special to anyone here, but I'm so glad that this stove comes with an ignition and a lighter in one knob, whereas before we just had an ignition knob that you had to hold down forever whilst you turned the gas on, whereas now this is a 2-in-1 system. So allow me to demonstrate. Let's see if I get this right. Oh, that is just sexual, isn't it? Like, just the sound of that. Can you feel the heat and the power through the lens? Because I can. The burn on this is just another level of what I was used to. As for the Rangehood, why this space looks a little bit different is the Rangehood we used to have was way further down, and now according to housing standards you have to have it so much further above the stove, and this just created so much more room and blank space. And you know I love a blank space. It is rare to see one in this premises, but I definitely think aesthetically as well as practically, so glad those housing standards have been enforced. So we had to cut through the cupboard to make this Rangehood fit, so we've had some complications. The stove was too big, the Rangehood needed to be raised, so we have had to modify the original settings a little bit, but it has all been to our advantage rather than our disadvantage. Super simple to operate. This is the light which you can decide to turn on and off. Our old Rangehood had broken lights for many years, couldn't see a thing, and now I can finally illuminate my cooking and see what I'm doing, which is brilliant. There's 3 power settings. We have number 1, 2, all operated by touch. It does sound quite noisy from here, but let me tell you, this is a lot more quiet than our old Rangehood, and the power on this is also incredible. If I were to get a piece of paper, now let's hope this works. The proof is in the pudding, guys. that is my kitchen review over. We will do a final review at the end, as I'm going to be putting this sexy beast through her paces. So let's get on with the food portion of the video, shall we, and cook up some HelloFresh dinners. Hello, I am still here. However, I am not the star of the show. The appliances are in this segment, and the other star of the show, which will forefront the HelloFresh, is the one, the only, the well-anticipated second attempt apple pie. Because the true test of any oven is its ability to produce a flaky pastry. Please note, nothing to do with the person who actually made the pastry. Nothing to do with that at all. Purely the responsibility of the oven. The good pie starts with preheating a good oven. So let me just quickly take you through the preheating process and basic functions. So left side is for, and mind the background ambience, again, soundtrack of my life. We're always getting work done around here. Left side is for the functions. So if you turn it to the right hand side, you can have the top and bottom deck, fan forced. Apparently this is a special setting where it's like fan forced but on speed, I guess. Then we've got top element, so the grill, top element with a fan, bottom element, and so forth. Anyway, today we are going for top and bottom element. You just wait a moment for the elements to kick in. You don't have to take any further action. Now, to set the temperature, I want 220 to start off with. You use the right knob to control that. So you turn it to 220 and leave it there. When you do press it in, it gives you an option for a timer. And one thing I haven't figured out yet is how to set a timer that doesn't turn the oven off at the same time. That requires an instruction manual, which I'm not prepared to tackle today. Anyway, very simple to operate, and away she goes. Super quick to preheat, by the way. Basically takes twice as less time than it did with our old oven. And take two on the same recipe from the old, let's see, 2013, a marvelous year, delicious magazine. So far, the best apple pie I've ever made. Attempt number 2 with hopefully less tough pastry. I am using pre-frozen pastry today because I didn't get time to make it about 2 to 3 weeks ago, so always handy to have short crust in the fridge, but I do not know what the result will be, unfortunately, because it has been pre-frozen and therefore exposed to moisture. I could have really shot myself in the foot. You're meant to let the pastry rest in a fridge for about 30 minutes after rolling so the gluten can relax. However, I'm impatient, so we're going to cut a little corner. Just about to roll out the top layer for the apple pie, and just wanted to point out that I feel this pastry could be slightly better than my last attempt, because see those little dots of butter within the pastry? Apparently this is what you want if you want a flaky crust, because it gives lots of room for those lovely air bubbles to pop up and make the pastry not as dense. So let's see if my theory is actually executed. waiting for pie. Waiting for dessert, I think, is one of the hardest challenges in life, especially when you're pregnant, and I had to eat my minestrone ahead of time, guys. I couldn't wait, and I'm still super hungry. So, oh, hold on a minute. We have a few minutes left on the timer. I'm going to flip you around and actually show you how this oven works, because what it does when it's almost done and you've set the timer, it actually switches off on its own, which I actually think is a really good safety mechanism. At first I thought it was super annoying because sometimes I wanted to bake other things in the oven after the thing that I had taken out previously. But when you have to pop a cake in the oven, go pick up the children, or go about your day, super safe, super handy. Does the thinking for you, which is what I need right now. Okay, I'm going to allow 10 minutes for that to cool down before I dig in, because I don't think I could possibly wait any longer, but I will burn my mouth if I decide to tuck into it now. So, I thought, being the professional that I am, I would do a little bit of a chemist haul with you, not to mention just pop on a little bit of makeup, because I too am also getting sick of seeing myself in the viewfinder so underdressed. Chemist Warehouse, a discount pharmacy here that has basically taken over the entire pharmacy game, because to be face it, some chemists are super overpriced and I need all the savings I can get with my shopping habits. So whilst I was there, I was actually in there to pick up just my vitamin D, essential during pregnancy and during winter, but obviously got distracted along the way, because at the front they happened to conveniently place this travel toiletry set. So it comes with a set of different sprays, squeezy bottles, a pump bottle, and also screw top bottles that you can dispense your toiletry products into. And also comes very handy, I'm not sure if you can see with the glare, a spatula and a funnel. So thoughtful. I obviously am purchasing these far in advance for my hospital stay, God willing, and I have actually had it in my mind that I do need a little travel set of bottles and so forth, because this is not a time to be overpacking. It's the time for essentials, and not to mention I can reuse these on future trips if I ever go on a trip again after having so many children. Also found this, which is a super glossy, lack of words, lip gloss. It's a lip gloss by McoBeauty. It's like a knockoff for a very famous British brand. A lot of people use this. I tried a little swatch of this on at the chemist, and let me tell you, the gloss was giving. So for the few dollars that I spent on this, I thought it was quite worth it. So I'm going to pop this on, and also wanted to try this Rimmel multitasker primer. I saw another woman online, also from England. I seem to be obsessed with that place, living vicariously and all that, and she used this multitasker filter, giving very knockoff of a very famous brand. She popped it on online. She looked fantastic, and it's giving more than just a filter or a primer. It's almost like a very light foundation, but with a very subtle glow. It goes on matte, and I do like a bit of a glow, but I also don't want to be shiny, so this kind of gives the best of both worlds. So today I thought, whilst we're waiting for pie, I would do a very, very quick no makeup look with you. I have got just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products here with me, and we are going to quickly pop them on, so at least I won't look like I haven't slept in days. Talk about going in for one thing and coming out with a billion others. Ooh, comes with a very fun applicator. I was actually going to, in my bougie ways, use my brushes, which I have freshly washed, and had to prove that I wash it with you because I just need the recognition. Because when I was testing a sample of it in the shop, I actually used my hands, but I thought to see if I could perhaps amplify the coverage, I might just use a foundation brush. So I'm going to pop just a small amount, and a mirror would actually come in handy here, because to be quite honest with you, I'm working blind here. I can barely see me in the viewfinder because pregnancy has affected my vision super significantly. Got my little Aldi mirror. I'm I'm not working blind anymore. So I'm not sure if I've even applied enough here. In fact, I can already see that I haven't, so I'm going to just pop on a little bit more and also give some coverage to my strands of hair, because why not? Wow, I can already see this multitasker primer doing its work. It's not only giving me a bit of color correction, but just blurring over the pores slightly as well. So it's not a full heavy coverage foundation vibe, and yet it's not as wet as a BB cream. It's just super light. I'm not sure how to describe this. Super light concealer, I'd say. I'm not typically one for pharmacy products because I find that they oxidize. However, when I tried this sample on and wore it for the day before purchasing, I found that it maintained its shade super well. And look at that. No makeup and yet makeup, and nobody would know. First time ever purchasing anything from Rimmel as well. Right, now for my typical color corrector and concealer combo. So base is now completely done. That took all but 2 or 3 minutes. Now I'm just going to use this all-in-one palette that I've got lying around, and it's got 3 blush shades, 2 highlighters and a bronzer. I actually use this on my eyes as well, so I'm just going to quickly, oh no, I'm missing my eyeshadow brush. That is not ideal. I have to use this old one. I'm actually addicted to my stick cream bronzer, but again, for the sake of saving time and doing a no makeup makeup, this will suffice. Now to do a bright blush, subtle pink or a dark. I think I'll just go for, I'll just do a subtle pink. Ooh, really over blushed. Well, we're gonna roll with it. I'm actually loving to apply my blush right up to my nose these days. I just find it looks very girly and sweet, and I guess a bit more natural. I'm going to set that all down. Oh, I forgot to highlight, because why not? I think I'm going to use, I'll try the pearly colour, which is probably a bit much to be quite honest, but I like to live dangerously. And I've already prepped my lips with a bit of lip liner, an old lipstick, and I'm going to try the McoBeauty. So you just got to squeeze it, and it comes out in these 3 little rollers. Oh, oh, it just popped out the side. Oh, that's not ideal. Okay, I guess that's what you're paying for, is lack of packaging. Okay, maybe I was a bit enthusiastic on the squeeze there. I'll just wipe that down. Okay, and that is my no makeup look done. I would have done brows and mascara. However, we've got a pie to eat. That's why we're all here. Let's go. Just thought I'd show you the primer in the light as well. As you can see, it has pretty much given me all the coverage that anyone could possibly need on an everyday basis. So I'll link that product and anything else I've used in the description box if you want to go check it out. I'm actually going to say the pie is ready and edible because I can handle the ceramic pie dish with my bare hands. I'm so happy right now. I'm not sure if you can hear that crunch, guys, but that is a good crunch. We've got a bit of a soupy situation, and I don't know why, because last time the apples didn't give so much juice, but I think the reason is that I used very old apples that were a lot softer. They're the fresh ones I used last time. Not my most glamorous plating, but I'm sure as hell it's going to taste amazing. And that crust is so much more crisp, I can already tell. I'm rushing through this because I've got to go pick up my little one. I shoved a whole heap of the Flora plant-based cream that I pre-whipped a little while ago. Let me just taste it to see if it's still okay. I think we'll be alright. Let's dig into the pie. And I'm really curious to see how the crust turned out. I don't think I could speak for the bottom part of the crust because it seems to have kind of disappeared into the pie. Oh no, it's here. Okay. Pie crust bottom is a bit soggy, but that's because the apples were so juicy this time. I have no words. Pie crust was definitely executed well. Trick to this is not adding too much iced water and also not over pulverizing the butter and leaving some butter chunks within the pastry mixture. That has been the game changer. Apples still have a bit of bite to them, which I love because usually the frozen apple pies you get at the supermarket have been pre-cooked or a pureed apple. What I love about this recipe is that you don't really have to faff about with pre-cooking any apples. It's just basically cut them up, pop them in a pie and let your oven do the work. As for the oven, clearly the results speak for themselves. The result on the pie crust is the best I've ever done. It's light, it's crisp, it hasn't burnt. I've got nothing bad to say about this. While I finish stuffing my face in private, I will see you shortly for when we need to make our dinner tonight from HelloFresh, which I will go through with you in just a moment. Time will have passed, but you won't even know. I'll insert that clip from Cookie Monster when he's waiting for Cookie. Do you remember that ad?
Hey Siri, play me waiting playlist.
If I could save time in a bottle. First thing.
Love it so much. I'm having so much fun filming this vlog already, and I haven't even eaten all my meals yet. Thought of my next meal just makes me so happy. Somebody else has decided he loves it as well. I'm so happy. I'm also starting to get a bit jealous because I finished. Alright, kicking night one of HelloFresh off with lemon pepper prawns with roast vegetables and a dill parsley mayo. This mayo is actually my favourite mayo combo of all time. And these, that is my child, these are our ingredients. Very simple but hopefully extremely quick to put together. I also had a wee nap and woke up a little bit later than expected. Not in the mood for cooking, I must say, but knowing this is going to take me apparently 25 minutes is giving me some comfort right now, so let's get to it. Stuffing. Now I've got to saute these peeled prawns in lemon pepper seasoning, but I don't think it's quite going to fill us up tonight, this little packet of prawns, so I'm going to use some leftover chorizo. I'm done, Mom. You're done? Okay, good job. Or as Spanish say, chorizo. This is also from HelloFresh. Didn't end up quite using it all the other day in a soup, but it's going to expire next month, so I thought I might combine the two. I've heard that seafood and chorizo go together, like the scallop chorizo. I gotta stop saying that. I think I'm hungry. Go together. Anyway, I'm sure it'll work. The official taste test amongst all the random backdrops. Just ignore that. We don't usually film on this side, but this is the spot I got allocated tonight. So a little bit of chorizo. I really don't like saying that. A little bit of sausage, spinach, mayo and prawn. First impressions. I'm going to say my modification by adding the sausage has brought this dish from perhaps a 7 to a 9. I'd give this a 9 out of 10, but I don't know. What do you think? You haven't tried it yet. Okay, that's the opinion of the other half. We're going to finish our dinner and then I'll catch you for the next one, I guess. Feedback on the stove though, wow, that girl gives heat. And yeah, I actually had to turn the heat down, but that's what a proper gas stove should work like. So super impressed. And the oven, the same, very consistent, very strong heat. So no complaints. I would describe this as fresh and indulgent at the same time. You've got that hit of lemon, but then the creaminess of the mayo, and then the fattiness of the sausage, and then just the lightness of the seafood. So it's got a bit of everything. It's very well balanced, and that's what I have to say about HelloFresh. Everything is very well balanced. You have enough veggies and protein, tastiness to healthiness, good ratios. So it really looks like I haven't changed. These are my cooking clothes. I wear these to cook because I don't want to tarnish my regular clothes with cooking smells and have to wash them every 5 minutes. I do enough laundry, more than the regular person. I don't need to do any more. We are having garlic salmon with warm risotto salad. I think I might have had a variation of this dish before. Salmon with beautiful little bits of pasta and looks like just some salady bits. So I don't need an oven, just a stove and a pan, and pretty much this will be ready in I think the next 20 minutes. So looking forward to this one, as I love a bit of risotto, which is this gorgeous little Italian pasta, one of my favourite things in life. I'm going to pop it onto boil, mix in a few seasoning packets, fry off my salmon and just add my salady bits. Too simple. Fun side of the island today. So lovely the view that I can see though, honestly. You're missing out. You're missing out on the mess that currently surrounds me. Anyway, let's tuck into this salmon and risotto. Super looking forward to this. By the way, I also have to say my second favourite dressing that HelloFresh provide is the cider mustard dressing. That is also quite divine. It's tangy, it's mustardy, a little bit peppery. Just wonderful. Oh, I do have a way with words. I think I just need to eat, people. So, pregnant lady's perspective on risotto and salmon with creamy pesto dressing. Okay, I've had a few more bites off camera. This is not quite how I remember it. I think the other one had roasted vegetables, which I think would go better here. The cucumber and tomato really lighten the dish and don't make it as stodgy. So for a summery dish, I would say this is perfect. However, because we're in winter and I am with child, I think I'm just in my rich, carby, creamy era, and this is giving summer diet. Nothing wrong with that. In terms of the flavor profile, it needs a bit more salt. Again, I think it needs a bit more richness. But if you like a light meal, I would still rate it. However, for me personally, right now with my feelings, which I do need to take into account, I would give this probably a 6 out of 10. It's not my favorite dish. It's not my worst. It's very healthy, well balanced. Nothing wrong with it. I just craving something else right now. And that's the one thing with HelloFresh, is that whether you're in the mood for your dinner or not, this is what's on the menu. It's kind of like when your mum tells you, well, this is all there is to eat. It's either you go to bed hungry or this is your dinner. Is kind of the vibe of HelloFresh, which I don't think is a bad thing, because it does encourage you to have like a wide variety of foods. Make sure you get your 5 a day, your protein, your veg, your carbs, all well balanced. What I might do is I might just add a little bit of something to this, either it be chili oil or maybe some pesto I can find left over in the fridge, just to make it a bit more rich for me. But otherwise, we'll move on to tomorrow night's dinner. I've got nothing more to say on this one. You've really caught me on the wrong week, guys. I don't want to cook. I can't be bothered. I'm gonna blame the third party growing inside me. I think it's because when I'm cooking, I'm already hungry, and that disrupts my motivational train of thought. So perhaps in future I should start cooking when I'm not hungry, but that might defeat the purpose of eating dinner when you are hungry. But anyway, tonight's dinner is so simple, which is why I can't make excuses not to do it, because it's that simple. So we have quick fish tacos. The fish is already like pre-crumbed, so I don't even have to do any of that. I've just got to literally fry it in a pan for a few minutes. Tortillas go in the microwave. My favorite mayonnaise and lots of salady bits. I am meant to pickle this onion, but I don't do raw onion ever, so this is going in the fry pan before I do the fish, and we're going to do a caramelized onion instead. Apart from that, we are sticking to the recipe, we think. And you know I'm not playing when I refuse to get out of my dressing gown, because I really can't be bothered. However, I'm only frying a bit of fish and chopping salad, so it's not really like a smelly, extravagant cooking experience here. I could even probably pop these in the air fryer. I might just do that. That'll actually save me so much time. I'll just lightly spray them with some cooking oil, maybe stick them on for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. But yeah, there we are. I've just saved myself another step. So that wasn't as difficult as I had anticipated. That was really thrown together in about 20 minutes, so I can't complain. No excuse for a takeaway. However, I do feel like takeaway. You know, trying to fulfill the naughty, indulgent vibes creeping up within me. But at least I didn't have to take off my dressing gown, go pick up takeaway, get any of this on the table. I have decided to crack open a brand new bottle of Cholula hot sauce. It is a Mexican, very light chili pepper sauce. I know me, and I know that every dish kind of needs enhancing with chili most of the time for me. But let's give this a try. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to eat this with my hands, because it is quite full, and I actually decided to use not all of the salad that I was given because there was so much. I can just about manage it. I seasoned the fish when it came out of the air fryer with some chicken salt. Still super crispy, so I'd say you can skip the pan frying if you have an air fryer. This is not going to look delicate in the slightest. I like it. It's fresh. It's giving seaside. However, it's also giving a little bit of bland. Let me try the Cholula with this one and see if it just takes this fish taco to the next level. Needs that hit of chili and a little bit of zing. However, overall, it's kind of tasting like one big salad. I can barely taste the fish. It kind of just blends in there. I'm actually going to give this dish, like, again, another 5 or a 6 out of 10. Just not hitting all my sweet spots. Again, this could be a me thing. It could be a seasonal thing. Perfect for summer when you want to get in that bikini and live your best life. But when you want to lie in your dressing gown all day and eat chips and watch TV, this doesn't really complement that lifestyle, does it? Hello everybody. You can actually tell it's a different day now because I'm actually wearing something different. I am in a fabulous mood today. It is just the best weather. It's just about to hit winter and I don't know why the gods have just turned around the seasons, and I feel like this is the first day of summer, to be quite honest with you. And finally, a recipe to match my unsatiated appetite so far. Spaghetti and meatballs. I mean, you cannot go wrong with a meal like this. It is a crowd pleaser. And don't you think I'm difficult to say that my appetite that I did have, because today is so sunny and spring fresh, is not vibing with spaghetti and meatballs today. But I do need to cook it because I don't want these 4 pre-cut mushrooms to go to waste because they're starting to sweat a bit like myself in this heat. But simple recipe, a few more steps though. We're making meatballs and then pulling them out to make a sugo with zucchini and mushrooms and a bit of spinach. So really looking forward to this one. Hopefully by the end of the night I will have accumulated more of a winter appetite. Anyway, let's stop complaining and start cooking. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. And true to form, HelloFresh do give a generous quantity of pasta, so no one will walk away hungry after this meal. Problem. I also have a Parmesan cheese problem. HelloFresh do provide the Parmesan cheese for this dish, but it just ain't right. It's the fake Parmesan cheese, but it's not just that, there's something not right about it. So I have got my own freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I know, such an extra girly. I have to admit, I'm more than in the mood to eat pasta and meatballs now. I am quite hungry, and as you can see, back in winter mode with my husband's a billion-year-old puffer jacket on. Anyway, let's give this a try. Now that's what I'm talking about. 9 out of 10, straight up. Just the right amount of richness and the right amount of carbs to meat to make this a very satisfying experience. Although I was a bit cheeky, I did go off recipe. I did add a sneaky chili and a little bit of Vegemite just to make the sauce a little bit more richer, and a tad bit of tomato paste because the sauce was quite light. However, the addition of the mushrooms, the garlic and herb seasoning I added has really just made this a flavorful, enjoyable meal. There was also surprisingly pesto in the meatballs, which has given them a really nice indulgence. I'm just so happy right now. There is nothing that says I love you quite like spaghetti, or in this case, I love me. Also, my last thought on this meal, well actually on the stove really, did you see the rolling boil of that water for the pasta. I've just realized I've never seen a rolling boil ever in my life because our stove has never been at a rolling boil because it never gave enough heat. So I can seriously vouch for the heat that this baby gives. This is just on another level, and so grateful to be cooking with gas. I know in some places gas is on its way out. However, in my heart, it will never be out of fashion because it is the original OG method of cooking. You can't get past it. It just delivers a different experience, and I'm just so happy. Not just with this meal, but just with the appliances in general. I'm completely over the top. Let's all acknowledge that. Anyway, happy days. I'm going to enjoy my beloved pasta and meatballs with my beloved husband, who I will summon. Adieu until tomorrow night. Hello, good people. Another glorious day with another glorious mess. But let me assure you, all those dishes behind me are clean. We are at the final hurdle, and doesn't it show on my face? Last meal of the week, day 5. Home-style pork schnitzel and mustard gravy. Just had to throw in a little accent there. We've just got to keep it interesting somehow. Pretty simple dinner. I'm going to roast the potatoes and then cover them in this delicious, the only dill and parsley mayonnaise. I have decided to sub the pork schnitzel for chicken breast. I have had HelloFresh's pork before. It's fine, but I just do prefer the texture of chicken breast a bit better, and that comes at no extra cost as well, so why not? Then we have a few salady bits, so some tomatoes, which they always give a full punnet, which is quite excessive for 2 people, but who's to say no to extra antioxidants? Salad, of course, and then the bits to crumb the chicken, such as panko breadcrumbs, lemon pepper seasoning. And then we have the gravy granules, which we mix with boiling water and add a bit of mustard to make it a mustard gravy. Very exciting, let's go. I'm also going to utilize my friend, the air fryer. I could have used the stove to fry my schnitzel, but just can't be bothered tonight. Lazy girl vibes, which I'm sorry, I have been absolutely in that zone all week. I figure if God wanted us to do extra manual labor, he wouldn't have invented the air fryer. Top layer of the salad. Oh, I'm terrified. I have to get this outside right now. Oh my god, it's gonna run. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, that was terrifying. I need a minute. The main thing is I got it in time. It's outside living its best life. I actually feel like it's gonna come back in, but anyway, we're not going to think any proactive negative thoughts. I'm just going to wash this salad spinner about 3 times, and we're gonna get on with this meal. That's what we're gonna do. Beautiful people, I thought I would conclude this vlog with a little bit of bench eating. It's a very sociable thing to do, eating over the bench, talking to one another. So I thought I would conclude this video in this exact spot, looking a little bit later in the day, obviously, and with a bit less dishes in the background. I hope you appreciate that. I need all the affirmation I can get at this point in the day. Not to mention my new nails, which have nothing to do with this vlog at all, have been freshly retouched in a blood orange, which I've never had before, which is also affirming me, considering I've been up since 2:30 a.m. Long story, earache with child with an earache, went on all night, as the story goes. Anyway, they're all fed, watching YouTube, and I am also going to be well fed in just a moment. So let's sample the last of the HelloFresh meals. Let's begin with the chicken schnitzel and mustard gravy. Solid. Let's sample the potato salad. She's a standout. And as for the salad, I've undressed it because we've got so many condiments here that I think it would be overkill to add any dressing to that. But let's conclude the 5 days of HelloFresh on a high and call this meal an 8 out of 10. Very satisfying, very yummy, nice balance of citrusy flavors and enough condiments to keep it interesting. And also brilliant idea to roast the potatoes for a potato salad rather than boil them. I don't think I'll ever boil a potato again, considering how nice the contrast is with a nice roasted spud with a creamy dressing on top. Anyway, as for the stove, range hood and new oven situation, if I could give it an 11 out of 10, I would. Once again, never experienced a rapid boil in my life at the ripe old age of 35. Stove gives a brilliant amount of heat, even amount of heat. Range hood does a fantastic job of sucking up all our cooking juices, and the oven again has not disappointed, given an even temperature, a nice high quality temperature, and has really kept the heat in the oven. There's been no leakage of heat out the oven. Nothing has been underbaked or overbaked or overcooked or undercooked. It has just been the best experience, I think, of cooking HelloFresh in the weeks that I've had it, just down to the fact that I just had better cooking appliances. So I will link them all down below and find out the model and so forth. Also leave a link to HelloFresh down below if you're interested in checking them out. Really convenient if you're somebody who lives a very busy life and just doesn't have time to go out and do the shopping, to go cooking or do meal planning. It's all kind of done for you. Really hope you've enjoyed this one, guys, and I wish I could leave a link to the apple pie recipe. If I can find it online, if there's a delicious magazine online, I'll try. But otherwise, take care until my next vlog. Happy eating and wishing you all well out there. That is enough from me. More than enough, I think. Bon appetit.